Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Kira the doll, and as you can see, today I'm going to be coloring my hair purple. So me personally, I started off with a lightener just because I wanted it to be very vibrant. It's going to be a darker tint of purple and pink, but I just wanted it to be more vibrant, as vibrant as possible. Even though I'm using the Kiss dyes, which aren't too permanent. But for the lightener, this is a charcoal lightener, which is natural, versus the bleach lightener, which is a little bit more harsh. I mean, I've used both, but I definitely like the charcoal one for my natural hair. So on top of the DIY, it's going to be partially a story time just about my college experience and my experience staying in dorms and my personal opinion on it, because I feel like my take is very different from a lot of people's. So I feel like it's got to be people out there just like me that think a little differently about it and looking at it from a bird's eye view. So my college experience, starting off, I stayed in dorms my freshman year. So, after the summer of 12th grade or whatever, you go straight to, well, no, almost during the summer. It's a little bit before classes start. I think like 2 weeks. You go and you move all of your stuff in and you just kind of get acclimated, make friends. That's really the social time. Me personally, I am a Taurus. So I'm not the social type at all. Like, I'm very introverted, but in my more recent years and upcoming years, I'm on the cusp of the Aries and Taurus. So Aries are very friendly. I'm getting more into just being a more friendly person. I grew up, being friendly and around a lot of kids. So I feel like it's definitely in me, but it's something I shied away from as I got older. Now, I done worked in retail. I done been around hella people. I know I gotta talk, but when I need to. I'm not a very talkative person, but I talk when needed. You feel me? However, luckily for me, I had a few friends from the same school who started school there as well. One of my friends, she did a summer program, so she was there even before I got there. So she had met a lot of people just from being there in the summer, and it's more small. She was able to meet a lot of people. So when I got there, I was around her and I was around a lot of people, and being brought in a situation like that for me is more comfortable rather than like going out and just saying hi to people and meeting people like that. I done met lots of different people there, and I had a friend like that, which is becoming me now, but the type to lead and make friends, rather than always having people to approach you and them become your friend or whatever. And then also my roommate, she was very nice. She was very, very nice. So I went to DSU, which is Delaware State. I'm not in Delaware anymore, so that's why I'll disclose where I went and all of that. But yeah, she was from DC. So it was cool to meet different types of people from different places and hear their accents. It was crazy. It was very crazy to just be around all of these different types of people and y'all all just mingling. But yeah, it was a good experience. I was able to be around her friends, make friends with some of them. So yeah, y'all, it's a lot that happened within the year I went to that school. And with going there, what I eventually learned as a person is you really got to pick and choose the company you keep wisely, because people bring drama into your life. You will not be in drama depending on who you surround yourself with. Drama, I mean, unless you're a dramatic person and you're miserable, but if you have peace within yourself, you're good. That's all you got to worry about. But you also have to worry about that discernment in people and learning the kinds of people that people are. Are they positive or negative? Funny part in it all, though, is that a lot of HBCUs are very just like conflict driven, just like high school, but in a city. Like, so basically what they used to tell us freshmen all the time was, these friends that you're around right now, watch next year, the year after that, and the year after that, a lot of y'all is not going to be friends. Maybe about one of y'all, but probably not none of y'all is going to be friends. You're going to make new friends, and you guys just not going to click no more. Y'all going to fall out. It's going to be fights. They was telling us, and it's just like, it's crazy how it really happened. I don't know if it was them wishing that on us, them manifesting that onto us. I don't know what it was, because it really happened. So in the beginning, I'm just starting to be around different people, and it's going really good. Like, I made so many friends, and it was just like, in the beginning, you kind of see red flags in people's personalities and characteristics and characters. But like, if you're in a big behind friend group, you're just going to still be in that friend group. That's kind of how it goes in school. But what that eventually does is cause a lot of drama and conflict. Not because somebody's a good or a bad person, or not because somebody did X, Y, Z, or not because this person fucked this person over, and not because any of that. But the real reason is just simply because you guys' personalities do not click. Y'all don't mesh. Y'all not meant to be friends. And people are who they are. Meanwhile, several people are literally fighting with everything in them just to stay friends with people, because they're biting their tongue so much. Like, they're so annoyed. But imagine, like, that's literally how school is. Imagine all day y'all are together, which is usually how it goes, and then it's one person that you just can't stand, but they're with you all day. People don't really start to grow their independency in college, well, from what I've seen, until like sophomore to junior year is when they grow more of their independence. However, sometimes that does mean friend groups, but their independence means they're their own person in their friend group. That friend group is because of who they are. Yes, but you definitely learn a lot of things, and you can definitely lose a lot of friends. Just a heads up, everybody's different. But I know you guys want to hear the drama, so let's get into it. So, of course, the drama started within the friend group, which was other people's drama, but me personally, I'm going to talk about my drama. As a matter of fact, I just remember how my first friend group split up. It all started because me and a few girls started to smoke weed. Y'all, they started calling us fiends. It was like crazy. I remember we had made a group chat, and it was called The Fiends, or something along that lines. It was something like, weed smokers, or something like, contradicting what they're saying. So it was to the point we had a whole meeting and everything. We had a meeting in this girl dad office. Her dad let her be in his office, and we was all in there to have a meeting about this situation. And my personal friend that I had knew for years, that's also in the next conflict, she was on the other side. And it was just like, yeah, I know her. This is not like her. I had a lot of people that I knew that went to school with me. So it was like, good and a bad thing, because one girl was basically just hating on me, and she would just say smart stuff to me when she seen me, which would catch me off guard, because you're not really a thought in my mind. So like, when I see you, my initial reaction is either say nothing, or if she speaks hi, because up until then I was really enjoying my time at school. Like, I was really having a good time, just going to different school events. It was lit. Like, it was always stuff to do. What really started to annoy me just about my personal friends was in that situation with that girl. So Like I said, every time she would see me, she would say something smart. So eventually, the next time I seen her, I'm like already on go versus you saying something smart when I'm not expecting you to. So the second time, I just so happened to be with my friend. And mind you, let me give you a little backstory as well so that you can see the dynamic in the situation. So the girl who kept saying smart stuff to me, I knew her personally from school because she went to the same school as me. We were in the same shop, aka career pathway. We were both in early childhood education, and we had a preschool and everything at our school. But anyways, and we had played basketball together, so we really was around each other a lot. Also, the thing about it, she was a grade above me, so she already had been going to the school. And when we played basketball, she was on varsity. I was not on varsity. I was on JV. So it was like she was a good player. So I don't know why she felt the need to stoop to my level. Now back to the story. The second time I seen her when I was with my friend, I was ready. So I started to say very smart stuff back to her. And my friend was just sitting there laughing, and she was just like acting like she didn't know that we were serious, talking about I thought y'all was playing, until I started swinging on the girl. Now you want to try to break it up. All I literally would do was exist, and she would just say the most colorist things to me, and which was funny because we were close in complexion. Like, let's be so for real. If you my friend, you should know I don't play like that. When the last time we ever played like that? So, sweetheart, this not my friend. This intruder. And you up here laughing because this girl got some sort of status. She's some sort of popular in XYZ. I don't care about none of that. I'll whoop your ass. Don't matter what. If you respect is respect. Oddly enough, farther down the line, she was working at one of the food places in our school, and she started to give me free stuff, I guess as an apology for what she did. I don't know who play like that. So that really made me start to question my friendship with that girl, because it was just like, if I'm with my friends, I should always be able to be protected. And basically that's what happened with my next drama. Yeah, that whole friend group started to break up, and it was just like I started to hang out with different people. The new people I was hanging out with was who lived near me, my same wing, or like neighbors and stuff. So it was like a whole wing of girls almost. It was a lot of us that was hanging out. But before then, we all lived in the same building, but like we would have to go to different floors to go to each other's rooms. Also, I remember we would always go to parties, and that's what started my trauma with parties and just being in big areas. Basically, every time us in the first friend group went out, well, we were able to have a few successful nights, but literally it was so many unsuccessful nights where parties always got to powing. It was one night where me and my friend coincidentally weren't able to go because we were in a separate car and our driver had to leave. So we had to go back to the dorms, and we was a little upset because everybody else went to the party. But when they came back, they was like telling us a horrific story about how they had to hop out the window, break the window, this and that. Like, it was crazy. But I definitely had my fair share of traumatic parties while being at that school. The thing is, what I learned is that they're typically the parties that aren't hosted by the school. So if it's not a school event, then most likely it's going to get turned out. If it's a school event, you have a better chance of being safe. Back to the story, though, it was just gradually, at first, It was me and this one girl on my wing that were friends, and we started to hang out with her roommate. And then we started to hang out with these other girls across the hall. So it was just like we all just started to make our own friend group, which I feel like was just a way more authentic friend group than the original one that I was in. Like the original one, they were way more childish and stuff, but the new friend group I was in, we was all on the same type time. Like we're new, like, but we're grown. But basically what started happening was that friend group started to break up too. So it started, I feel as though, because my original friend was just started acting weird to me. So I kind of just cut myself off from everybody else, because it was just like I felt like they were more so her friends than mine. But it was odd because this other girl down the hall who was in our friend group or whatever, she and me started to hang out because apparently they started to stop inviting her everywhere, which I did not fully realize. But when I sat back and thought about it, I'm like, oh, like they haven't been inviting me nowhere either. Like no wonder I haven't been with everybody else. But I already was feeling weird about the one girl. So then once I'm around this girl, the same girl that we coincidentally was in the same friend group, and they stopped being around us. She started telling me all of this stuff that my friend was saying about me. And I just knew she wasn't lying, because it was literally stuff me and my friend had talked about. So I'm like, wow, she been talking behind my back. And me not really thinking at the time, the person I am today, if somebody's telling me that somebody's talking shit behind my back, yeah, I'm going to take their advice and listen to what they got to say, and depending on what they're saying, believe them. But the same person that's telling me what they was saying behind my back, they're not really to be trusted either. But I know that now. But back then, I didn't really think about it like that. Basically, that situation made me and my friend fall out. And it's just like what I realized from that situation with my friend. She was a new friend. But if somebody around you talk shit a lot about other people, then that means that you're most likely being talked shit about too, just when you're not around. I literally had to learn it the hard way, and the hard way was once the friend group basically split up. Me and my new friend, one day we were just casually coming back into the building. We were actually about to go to classes. We had the same time for class, so we was about to run inside, get our stuff right quick, and then just wait until we had to go to class. It was close to that time. So as we're coming inside, we walked past the other friend group, and I guess they were salty. I don't know. I guess they were salty that we made friends with each other. I don't know. But as we're walking past them, one of the girls bumps my friend, which me at the time, I was a little naive still, to drama and everything. So I was just confused, what was the purpose of that? I didn't really think of the fact that those two used to go at it, but I'm just thinking, why are they being like that? And we all was just friends, or supposed to be friends. We just haven't been hanging out. So me being curious out loud, I asked her, I said, why did you do that? And me not even realizing that it was mad boys in this lounge. So they had just walked past all these boys. So I'm so naive at times. So I was naive to the fact that that's why she did it. She wanted drama because these boys are watching. She wanted a show, and I gave her one because I don't play that shit. So basically, when I asked her that, she went off on me And she started talking about my situation with my friend. She was like, you need a something. I forget exactly what she said, but along the lines of like my friend was talking about me to her, and I done did something to her or something along that line. So pause the story. These are the two colors I'm using. This tint of pink and this tint of purple. Two very dark colors. I put the pink in the absolute back and I put the purple in majority of the front. I really loved how the color turned out eventually. I leave the charcoal liner on for about an hour, but you do got to count from when you start really. So yeah, I left that on for about an hour. And also I tried to just lighten the middle because I wanted it to be black and then light, and then my ends were already lightened, so I didn't have to lighten them twice. And then I just go in with the color. Now back to the story. This is where it gets juicy, y'all. So she started talking about my situation with my friend and how I'm being a bad friend, XYZ. And she proceeds, I can't remember if she smacked me. I can't remember what this girl did. Because, like, me, it's like we at this level now. Like, I don't see what's going on. I'm just about to win. So I'm getting to hitting this girl. And she eventually grabs my wrist, y'all. That shit pissed me off to the highest extent. Not only that, but the people that was with her basically broke it up. And like, I literally was not really able to get to this girl. Do you know how fucking mad I was? Like, people don't understand. There's different types of people in the world. You have those type of people who get mad and start crying. Yes, I'm one of them. But at this point, tears are coming. But y'all literally stopped this fight before I could do anything. Like, do you know how upsetting that is? But at the same time, I had to do my theatrics or whatever. So I got to laughing at her, saying, na boo boo, and all of my little catchphrases, And then I eventually just had to get away because it was broken up and it was just starting to cause a commotion. But I eventually realized it was all because of those guys who was sitting there, and she just wanted to do the most. I don't think, maybe she didn't know that I would react the way I did, because I think a lot of people in this world misread me for a sucker, but when they try me, they're scared shitless, because I feel like I have a presence that's like, they don't know if I'm one to play. Like, it's like a very thin line, you're walking a very thin line, and they know that it could go either way, but they just take their chance. That's what I literally been noticing lately. Like, people just take their chances with me, and then when I snap, oh, you want to make it seem like I'm the bad guy. Conflict in this world really irritates me, because people know how to throw rocks and hide their hands so damn good. But versus me, I don't give a damn about no rocks, none of that shit. You gonna respect me. I don't care who seen what. What is you saying? Like, I don't care about no picture to paint. I don't care about none of that. Me and you both know what's up, and that's what it's gonna be. I don't care about what nobody else think or know. But that be the thing about it. So many people is obsessed with the picture and the perception of something rather than the actual mechanics to it. After that situation, I actually got in trouble, and they tried to ban me from like school events and stuff, which I really didn't care because it was the end of the school year, and I was really contemplating coming back anyways, because it was just like too much. It was a lot. So eventually the summertime came and stuff, and what really made me change my decision was losing my father. So I just wanted to be close to home and be able to commute. I started going to another school. So yeah, the situation for me was just different, which I realized everybody is different, and to each their own. staying on dorms, I feel like it's definitely a great experience to see if it's for you or not. But at the same time, you don't have to feel like you have to do that. You don't have to be like everybody else, because like I just said in the beginning, all of those friends that you make in these dorms and stuff, half of y'all is not going to be friends in the years to come. So it's just like, it's kind of pointless of even being there. You're not saving money, you're actually spending. And a lot of the times dorms are very bare minimum. It depends what school you go to, but a lot of schools, these dorms are bare minimum. These dorms give jail cell. And then a lot of the times, the cafe that you're supposed to eat at gives jail as well. The food is usually a hit or miss. So it's like, you have the option. Me personally, I had the option between eating at the cafe or eating like a fast food or different foods on campus. So we had options, but like, we be hungry. That is not enough. And it's like, the only time you really was able to fill yourself up is go to the cafe. But if not, then you're in your dorm. I mean, you're eating the meal or whatever. But other than that, everything was out of pocket. So to really satisfy your stomach, you had to buy food to keep in your dorm. And then the food that you would keep in your dorms were also the bare minimum, because they used to tell us that we couldn't have refrigerators in our rooms. So that's one thing. Then for two, we only had the microwave and stuff in the kitchen, which was like, down a few flights. Everybody in the whole building shared the same kitchen. So you can only imagine how that really went. Like, a lot of times we wasn't really messing with the kitchen for real, because it was just like doing too much. But yes, I was literally, when I was there, I was hungry. I was broke, because it's very hard to work and be in school at the same time. That's just a lot to have on your plate. Especially just for me personally, because I was still at a point in my life where I was trying to find myself. So I didn't really see working and being in school as a thing. Like, I wanted to really enjoy my experience. If I was going to work, I kept saying I would do it my sophomore year. Like, let me just enjoy my experience and get the best of it. Which I'm glad I did, because I'm actually very happy that I left, and I'm glad that I did, so that I got to see that that's not what I wanted to do, and I didn't enjoy it. I wasn't happy. I wasn't content while being there. I also found that I personally enjoyed the community college a lot better, which was cheaper. So it was just funny that, what was the hype, where everybody wanted to go and what everybody wanted to do, what was more expensive, just didn't click with me, as well as the smaller alternative, which was basically something major I learned about myself. Is just that what's for the majority isn't always for me. I have my own path, and different things just suit me well, right, versus what is hype and popular. Because to be honest, after those first 2 years, I eventually decided to go to hair school, which I wanted to do before going to college, but I didn't really see it as a true career at the time. So I didn't go to school for it. I just went to college. But over time, I'm just like, what's going to make me happy? And I went to hair school, and I really enjoyed it. I made a lot of friends in hair school. So I really feel like that was the better alternative for me. Being in school and staying in dorms and such, I really would only recommend it. Well, not only recommend it to these people, but more so recommend it to people whose families just are more financially well off and able to support you while you're in school. Because, being in school and being around everybody else, I'm so humble, and I'm coming in and I don't have no job, and I'm not privileged. So being around other people, and we're all not having no job, and their families just well off, and you seeing them getting money, and they just doing so well while they still in school. It's just like, it's a little heartbreaking, and it's a lot. And me personally, I'm so used to working. I'm just so used to getting my own money. So it was just like I had to find an alternative because staying on campus wasn't going to be it for me to be able to work and do everything that I wanted to do. All in all, it was mainly just discouraging because you feel like you don't have all the materials you need. You just feel like you're not able to show up the way that you want to because you don't have everything physically that you want, which is a hard pill to swallow. And people try to make it seem like, oh, just chalk it up, it's not that serious. Like, no, it's actually very hard to be around everybody and everybody has everything that they want and you don't, and you're still working to get there. That was very hard for me, especially at that point in my life. Another fun part was the homecoming. I was able to see a few artists. That was very exciting. I remember it was about the time that Cardi B wasn't at the point that she's at now, but she was growing to get there. She was there. P&B Rock was there. It was fabulous. I think in Yo Gotti. The events for homecoming was fun. It was like a little a spirit week almost, but to the fullest extent. Like, not on no child, like, no, this is adult spirit week. It was time. And the fraternity and sorority parties used to be fun too. Another very hard thing was just the fact that freshmen couldn't have their cars on campus. So it was just like, dang, I was used to being independent, and then I had to change the dynamic and, get into a mindset of you're still a child, but you're grown, but you're a kid, but you're grown. It's just like, I didn't like how it felt. I wanted to feel grown. I just wanted to really feel independent, which was very hard for me while being a full-time student. However, I did while I was in hair school. However, in hair school, they gave me a lot of leeway and chances to graduate on time or as close to on time as possible because, like I said, it's a lot to go to school full-time and work a full-time job. It's a lot. It's draining. I commend people who do it because unless your job is part-time, but if you're working about 40 hours and going to school full-time, that is very difficult. You don't have no time to catch your breath. Imagine a social life. But yeah, that was my college experience. At the end of the day, it's all about what you're going to school for. Me personally, I went to school to learn. So it was just like very self-defeating in just the environment that I was in because I was really going to learn. Yes, I wanted to have fun, but I always liked school. Unlike a lot of people, like, I enjoyed school because I was able to show how smart I was. Like, so it was just like everybody else, school was the last thing on their mind. I was just starting to feel like I didn't fit in. I wanted to grow as a person. And honestly, after that, I started to trade Forex. So that started to help me grow as a person. So, I just learned that you don't always need college to get to that point in life where you need to be or want to be. Like, I just wanted to become that grown woman version of myself, which I have done without college. Basically, to sum it all up, it was a lot of peer pressure. We're all underage, but trust and believe everybody was drinking. So you literally don't turn 21 until you're about a senior. So everybody's drinking. That's number one, peer pressure. Number two, the friendship dramas, the unnecessary arguments, just the senseless bickering. And the next thing adds into that, the fights. It was a lot of fights. It was more fights than what I told in my story, but I didn't feel the need to really talk about other people's drama. But it was definitely fights in those dorm rooms, doors being closed and locked, and fights going down all times of the night. It's different when you're in school and you're staying there, because if nobody's around you and people get to fighting, then they just might not get in trouble. And lastly, there was a lot of fatal situations as far as the shootouts, stuff like that. It's just a lot. It's a lot to take in, but it is definitely an experience worth experiencing. But as I always say, discernment is your biggest friend, and you should ask for discernment every day, because that will really be your teacher in life and your guider in life to not lead you in the wrong path, because all it takes is one bad apple to spoil the bunch. You could be around one person with a negative mindset, or a mindset that don't really know where they're going, and now y'all are all in danger. So you really got to pick and choose your friends wisely. Not just your friends, but the company you keep wisely. And lastly, money situation. For me personally, it was hard money wise, because I wasn't working, point blank. But now this is the finished product, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what other topics you would like to hear me talk about. Let me know who my audience is and what you guys want. I can give you guys hair tips, hair videos, makeup videos, story times, information videos, health videos, money videos, whatever. Let me know, and I'm down for it. But thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate every last one of you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Leave some positive feedback. But I will see you guys next time. Bye.